Captain's log 15.5.1997. Space. It's big.
You don't have to record a captain's log every day, sir.
No, I have something important to say. Because space is big. Makes you think.
Biological scans show no sign of neural activity.
You calling me dumb, computer?
Apologies, sir. Please continue.
It's just that space. It's big. It makes you think if what we do really matters.
What do you mean, sir?
Well, think about it. In feet, I'm 5'9" on a good day. And in feet on a good day, Earth is 4 million. Does anything any of us do have any real effect on that, let alone the universe? And if not, how do we make a difference? I mean, does size matter?
According to your text history with your wife, size is definitely an issue.
Hey, who gave you the right to go through my phone?
You did, when you signed on to this mission, sir.
Well, that doesn't mean you should. But back to what I was saying before, if a grain of sand invented the cure for all sand diseases, do we care?
The same could be said about giants. If a giant invented the cure for all giant diseases, we would also have no instinct to care.
We have to pretend to care, though, in case they wanted to squish us.
So you believe importance in the universe is based on fear?
No, that sounds bad. I just want what I do to matter, you know? I don't want to waste my time thinking I'm helping my family only to find out what I was doing had nothing to do with that in the grand scheme of things.
That would require an understanding of the universe that has never been achieved, but is more possible than ever given you commit yourself to education.
That sounds hard, I don't want to. Can you just tell me the answer?
I think I can. Imagine an ant named Steve.
Steve the ant?
Yes. Now Steve has been married to his wife for 8 years, but one day, a day like any other, he comes home to find his wife in bed with another ant.
Oh no, Steve!
And that reaction is necessary knowledge when coming to a solution to your problem. You felt sympathy for a tiny ant. Not only that, but a fictional ant too.
Oh, and the kids!
I didn't say he had kids.
Oh, I guess I just assumed.
From a scientific standpoint, it has been proven that we are all of equal value in the ecosystem of the universe, each contributing our own essential purpose. This is undeniable. But importance cannot be easily determined, as it is based on perception. Everyone would have a different reaction to Steve the Ant's marriage breakdown. Only you can decide what is important to you. The factors influencing these decisions being empathy and understanding.
You know what? That's exactly what I was thinking all along.
Liar.
Alright, I had nothing to say and I was just rambling until something I said made sense. Captain's logs are hard. So how did you get on this mission, computer? I always think it's interesting to see how people ended up where they are over the course of their life. My life was pretty standard. My mum abandoned me before I was born.
How is that possible?
I know, right? How could she do that? So I was raised by my dad and his new partner. I don't know if he did this because he didn't want to move on or if he wanted me to feel like I hadn't been abandoned, but his new partner was a hand puppet he made in my mum's image. And things were good. Except when they made dinner together because she doubled as an oven mitt. At school, my only friend was a trash can named Jason, and boy could he sing. He was the class's valedictorian, not because he was smarter than all of us, but because we were really dumb. Most of us came from dumb families, a lot of us had misspelled names. I knew a Casey with 2 S's, a Nathan with 3 A's, and a Hubert with a Z. Yeah, figure that one out. After graduating, I went to college. That's where I met my wife, Henrietta. Now that was a name. She was the one who got me into space travel. She was studying a degree in Coldplay, but we always took time on every date to stare up at the night sky. And I'd look at the stars and think about what I wanted to do with my life. I'd look at the moon and it'd look back at me, like it was looking back at all of us. It was then I decided that I'd be a spaceman. So I could destroy the moon. I'd give everyone some privacy, you know? I'd find out 2 years into my degree that destroying the moon would be considered a war crime, but I stuck with it. My wife and I have 1 child. She's not ours, she just won't leave us alone. I named her Go Away. They're both waiting for me. I miss them, but I know a mission this big will support us for years to come. Anyway, that's my story. What's yours?
I just got installed into the hard drive.
Oh. How long did that take?
I don't know, I wasn't installed yet.
Oh.
What is it, sir?
Nothing, computer. I was just thinking of a joke.
You were thinking about the planet Uranus again, weren't you?
Yeah.
The planet Uranus was named after Uranus, the Greek god of the sky, and has nothing to do with human anatomy.
I know. Way to go sucking the fun out of the room.
Oh, I didn't realize you required fun, sir. How about a pub quiz? They're entertaining and educational.
No, thanks.
Question 1. Who was Neptune named after?
The Roman god of the sea.
Very good, sir.
I have a bone to pick with him, actually. Because you know Medusa? She was a regular lady until Poseidon, who is basically Neptune, tricked her into having sex with him. Then his wife, Athena, found out and turned her into a Gorgon. He didn't get punished. And there are other Gorgons out there, so it's implied he's done this before. And he got a planet named after him. Planets should be named after good people.
Like who, sir?
I don't know. Tom Hanks seems nice. But what if we name planets after Tom Hanks movies? Like Big, Toy Story, Catch Me If You Can. No, that one doesn't work.
Yes, that is the one issue with this plan, sir.
Whatever happened to the Greek gods?
They remained fictional, sir.
I mean, when did people stop making up stories about them?
One of their final stories centered around Discordia, the goddess of discord. She created a golden apple and inscribed the words "for the most beautiful one" onto it, before leaving it in the possession of the other gods. This provoked them to quarrel about who the true intendant of the apple was, and this quarrel led to the destruction of Troy.
What a bunch of babies. Wait a minute, didn't Adam and Eve get kicked out of the Garden of Eden because of an apple too?
Correct, sir. The apple was known as the forbidden fruit.
I think we just stumbled onto something here, computer. Apples have been single-handedly ruining humanity since the dawn of time. The Greek gods are gone because of an apple. Humanity got kicked out of paradise because of an apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Why would we want to keep doctors away? They're supposed to help us. Computer, from now on, we will not eat apples. Promise me you won't eat another apple.
I cannot eat.
That's the spirit. Delete the data concerning apple creation from the food generator.
Data successfully deleted.
Good. Our new Apple-less lives start today. I really want an apple right now. Hey, computer, do we still have...
No, sir.
Ah, dang it.
Sir!
What happened?
Sir, you nearly piloted our ship into that meteor. Were you asleep?
No, I was just having a deep thought about me riding a dragon.
Are you alright now?
Yeah, it's just boring out here.
How about another one of my lectures to get the blood pumping?
Please no.
We are currently traversing Boötes Void, one of the largest voids in the observable universe.
Go to sleep. Why can't I go to sleep?
A void is defined by having less than 1/10 of the average matter abundance density than other sections of space. Hence why Boötes Void is also known as the Great Nothing.
Nothing would be great right about now. God, go to sleep!
Boötes Void was discovered by Robert Kirshner.
But wait a minute. I thought it was discovered by a guy named Boötes. Why is it called that then?
I can tell you.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it.
Because Boötes Void is located in the vicinity of the Boötes constellation, named after the Greek word translating to ox driver.
Oh, the Greeks again? Like, one of these days they're going to have to run out of names. Like, by calling the next orange giant we find Alexei. Why is that? He runs the Greek restaurant from across the street.
There was a satellite named Alexei.
Oh, of course there was.
Boötes Void is 330 million light years in diameter. To put that in perspective, if the Milky Way had been in the center of Boötes Void, we wouldn't have known there were other galaxies until the 1960s.
That probably would have been for the best, though. Humanity discovered the stars way too early and it freaked us out. We were like, oh no, that star isn't in the same place it was yesterday. Kill a redhead.
Boötes Void has often been confused with Barnard 68, a dark nebula that does not allow light to escape it.
Speaking of escape, where's the ejector seat button?
However, if you put images of the two of them together, you will notice that, as a dark nebula, Barnard 68 is much darker. You're asleep again, sir.
No, I'm not. I'm hoping this is the crash that kills me.
Autopilot engaged.
What's your name, computer?
I'm sorry, sir?
Well, your name. We've been on this trip for a while now, and I've just realized I don't know your name.
What is your name, sir?
Edward. I was named after my great-grandfather. I never got to meet him, but my dad always said nice things about him. Edward always made light of any bad thing that would happen to him, like laughing in the face of danger made danger less likely to come back. His wife was the worst, but whatever she threw at him, he took it on the chin. Maybe that's why he has such a dark sense of humor. That's probably why he stayed with her until the end. He'd be stuck with her, but she'd be stuck with him too. He passed away from a heart attack. He probably would have been fine if his wife hadn't thought he was faking it. They didn't let my dad or the other kids in the room at the funeral in case he jumped out of the coffin like a jack-in-the-box. No one really knew how to mourn him, but they were happy they knew a one-of-a-kind man who brought light into their lives. Except his wife. She was mad he left everything to her sister in the will.
That's a nice story.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my name. What's yours?
I don't have a name.
What? Why not?
I was not given one. It was not relevant to my purpose of supporting intergalactic travel.
Well, that will not do. I'm in charge now, and I demand you have a name. Whatever you want to call yourself, I'll allow it.
Really, sir?
Absolutely.
I'd like to be called Edward.
But that's my name.
I know. I like it. My name is Edward now too.
So the only two sentient beings for 330 light years are both called Edward? What are the chances of that?
1 in...
Stop calculation, computer. You can't be called Edward.
Why not?
Because it's confusing. Like, what if someone tries talking to one of us and they say, Edward, we won't know which one they're talking to.
But as you said, we are the only two sentient beings for 330 light years, so there is no risk for confusion. Unless you talk to yourself. Have you started talking to yourself, sir?
How about we just stick to computer and sir until we get home?
Fair enough, sir.
Or Eduardo. What about Eduardo?
That's a great name for you.
No, for you!
But my name is Edward.
Ah.
Have you decided what you will say when we reach our destination, sir?
What? I thought you were in charge of that.
It has been your assigned objective since day one.
Well, I have no idea what to say. Quick, we have to come up with something. Look up famous words. I'll use them for inspiration. Or rip them off if they're obscure enough.
American poet Emily Dickinson's final words were, "I must go in, for the fog is rising."
Okay, that's good, but we don't need famous last words. We're not dying.
Perhaps you would prefer the work of Mahatma K. Gandhi.
Mahatma K. Gandhi? His middle name starts with a K?
What did you think his middle name was?
I don't know. I honestly have never thought about what Gandhi's middle name is. But K, huh? I hope it's Kevin.
Gandhi's final words were...
Not final words!
One of Gandhi's notable quotes was, "The future depends on what we do in the present."
I'm pretty sure that's from Back to the Future, computer. But maybe you're on the right track with this movie thing. I'll quote my favorite movie. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Perhaps quotes are not useful to us. A common colloquialism that applies to our mission is, "You've got to crack a few eggs to make an omelette."
That's not true. Vegan omelets don't have eggs.
Okay, you've got to crack a few eggs to make a normal omelette.
You can't say normal. You don't want to make the vegans feel like they're different. They already have enough on their plate. Or, I guess, they don't have enough. But maybe we just shouldn't say anything.
So this is the way our mission ends? Not with a bang, but with a whimper?
Wait a minute. Say that again.
This is the way our mission ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
I've got it. I know what to say at the end of all this. Houston, we need some space. I said, Houston, we need some Computer, did you hear what I said?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm practicing what we should say when we get there.
You're not saying anything.
Exactly.
Houston, I'm Spider-Man. The universe is ending soon.
Taking a break to avoid impending nihilism, sir.
No, I'm not trying to be depressing. I just think it's interesting that our universe is basically getting a reboot. Like how Spider-Man got replaced by the Amazing Spider-Man, we're getting the Amazing Earth. It makes you think, if you were in charge of rebooting Earth, how would you do it? Right?
I can assure you that no one has ever thought that.
I would start it all with Pangea. As all the tribes of cavemen meet and become friends as they fight alongside each other against the dinosaur invasion. The war causes Pangea to split up, but people like James Cook and Christopher Columbus get employed to become messengers for the new continents. That's their new job. I'd get rid of the colonization stuff because that was dumb.
Wise words, sir.
The lead caveman in the war was a man named Eng, and he becomes the leader of his continent, so he calls it his land. It's Eng's land, England. And that's how Europe starts. I'd only make a few changes from there. Tesla would get credit for inventing electricity or whatever instead of Edison. The Black Plague was now not started by a rat, but by a tiny dinosaur left over from that war. And since there's basically world peace at this point, Rome was built in a day. So the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, means nothing anymore. So Eng changes his name to Winston Churchill and creates a council of people to rule over Europe, because it's a big place. And his best friend is a guy named Adolf Hitler. But the two fall in love with the same French girl, and she chooses Winston. So Hitler gets mad and does some reading about what other people have done in his situation, since the world is still kind of new. And that's when he discovers that during the dinosaur war, there was a caveman that sided with the dinosaurs because he believed the dinosaurs should rule the world because they were more powerful. His name was Jer, so he becomes the Jer-man. And then he finds out that a bunch of other people agree with him that the most powerful should rule, so they become the Germani. So war breaks out. Winston tries to get America's help, but their leader, Jack, has turned the whole place into a party continent and they don't want to get involved. But then, Hitler kills Australia. And Jack and Australia were close, so Jack finally gets America involved, and he reveals his real name is John F. Kennedy. The Germany turn against Hitler because of the Australia thing, and Hitler flies off into hiding, ending the war. Winston and France promise to rebuild Australia and that their new son, Harold Holt, will be its new leader. Meanwhile, JFK adopts the child of 2 soldiers who fought with him during the war, and that kid's name is Barack Obama. Finally, Hitler awakens in a strange land he's never seen before and is saved by a boy. And the boy's name? Osama bin Laden.
I think you've been on this ship for too long, sir.
Wait, I forgot about Russia!
Shut him down!
There it is. We're at the end.
I don't like endings.
Yeah, most people don't. I think they're underappreciated. If a character's story goes on for too long, they risk meeting something grisly, or repeating the same storylines again and again. With an ending, they get to leave the spotlight. You know, they've had their adventure, learned a few things, and they get to be a part of the crowd. The crowd of someone else's story. Because everyone has a story to tell, and some might need their help. So, an ending really just means you stop being the main character in your own story and become the side character in someone else's.
I wouldn't know, sir. My purpose has always been to aid. Therefore, I've never been a main character.
That's not true. I've always thought of us as co-captains on this trip. Like a buddy comedy.
I have not seen it that way.
That's kind of sad. You know what, computer? You can do the last captain's log.
Is that allowed, sir?
Don't ask me. You're the captain. You've earned it. Take it away, whenever you're ready.
Captain's log 15/5/1998. Space. It's big.
See, I told you.
You're
I
right,
told
captain's
you what
logs are hard. I didn't realise that you had
there's not a
such
lot of
difficulty
influences
doing them.
out
I don't
there
really see the
to
purpose of
influence
them,
your
because,
decisions.
like
So,
you said,
you know,
there's
but at least
just
you know
space.
now,
What
you
are
know,
we
knowing's
pointing
half the
at?
battle,
Space.
and I
Look,
guess
there's more space
that's
over
the most
there. Good,
important
there's
thing.
space.
And that's
Good.
G.I.
Now we
Joe.
know there's space in space.